District 3 because I'm the most qualified person for the job. I am a teacher, I'm a parent of 2 small children in Brevard Public Schools. I'm an advocate for better schools, and I'm a scholar of education policy. I'm running because our board is filled with politicians, and I believe that we need an advocate who's not a politician. I have a history of advocacy that is unmatched by my opponent or by anybody really in this race, and I just want to kind of highlight some of the differences. I always have made decisions that are rooted in what's best for children. For example, my opponent stands in opposition to the non-discrimination policy, and I stand firmly in favor of it. Policy that protects all children. My opponent supports vouchers and for-profit charter schools that robs our most needy children of the tax dollars that you pay to support our public schools. She supports those initiatives even though they have no research to support their efficacy or their success. Initiatives that rather than help build neighborhoods through neighborhood schools, they prey on the neediest areas and funnel money from public schools. My opponent has made a pledge to eliminate federal funding from schools, despite the fact that we have 37 Title I schools right here in Brevard County that rely on Title I funding, which is federal funding. And we have 8 schools, did you know 8 schools that have 100% of their students who are economically disadvantaged. So I am running because I know that we need somebody who will put the needs of children before political gain.
I'm Descovich. I'm running for school board in District 3 also. A little bit about myself. I grew up here in Brevard County. Went to Brevard Public Schools myself. My husband and I have a total of 5 children that have all gone through Brevard Public Schools. We have a 10th grader at Melbourne High School and also a 3rd grader. I decided to run for school board because I saw a dramatic difference in the classroom from the time my 10th grader was in 3rd grade and now my 3rd grader. When I started getting more engaged in their education, I started learning more of the problems that we were having. The high-stakes testing was the first hurdle that I became engaged with. I immediately took action, and I organized a group of parents that stood up and met with legislators, stood up and spoke at school board meetings, and we were successful in encouraging the legislators to stop mandatory remediation for children that weren't doing well on that test. I'm passionate about education in our community. I'm passionate about our public schools. I'm passionate about children. Ms. Addo's statements were incorrect. I've taken no pledge of any sort since I decided to run for school board. If you have any questions for me, I hope that you'll reach out to me individually. I'm sure happy to answer them. Thank you.
This question is for either of you. The school board has rules on teachers protecting the confidentiality of students, but no rules for school board members breaking the confidential and private information of students. How do we fix this?
What a wonderful, timely question. How do we fix this? Well, there actually are rules. There are rules. There are board policy, there are state law, and there are federal policy. And we fix this by holding our elected officials accountable. So, I actually addressed the board last night. My son addressed the board last night because our board has violated my child's confidentiality by sending private emails about my son to my political opponent. They've created a smear campaign against my 9-year-old child by sending personal, protected, federally protected, state protected, and protected by our local school board policy information to Ms. Descovich, which they have then created a smear campaign against a 9-year-old child for political gain. So how do we hold them accountable? That was my question to the school board last night. Unless and until they hold themselves accountable and the voting public elects people that care more about kids than political gain, we're going to get more of the same. I did not get an answer last night when I asked them how they intend to hold themselves and each other accountable, except for Mr. Craig, who did send me an extremely apologetic email, and he actually had nothing to do with it. So, I don't know, but Ms. Descovich was in receipt of the email and actually replied to the email as well. So maybe she has the answer for how she intends to hold herself and the board accountable.
There's a little bit of a backstory here that needs to be explained, obviously, so you're all in the dark of what's going on, and I don't sound like such a villain. I'm really surprised that Ms. Addo has decided to come public with this information, as the email that was forwarded to me was a letter that showed she violated school board policy deliberately. She violated it twice. Since she has started running for school board, she has violated campaign laws, and she was being reprimanded for that. The letter mentioned her son in the letter. I did not ask for it to be emailed to me. It was sent to me. It is totally inappropriate that that portion of the email was sent to me, but it came my way, and I chose to do nothing with that because I didn't want a smear campaign, as she says. I have no idea why she's come public with this now. I think it's going to hurt her more than it's going to hurt me in any way.
And as you can see right now, that response further illustrates.
Excuse me. Okay, next question.